What is good, guys and girls? It's your boy, this dude here, and today we are really pushing it. I want to take my love for animals and anime and bring them together in one enclosure. I need to choose a theme and a character. So our theme for today, Naruto. Our character, Gaara from the Sand Village. This is gonna be fun. I need to find a way to represent him inside of this enclosure while also having the space for our animals to thrive. Let's just get to work. Now this is the enclosure we're gonna be using. I'm gonna cover 3 sides with spray foam, and then we're gonna shape it. This is gonna be a desert themed enclosure, and I don't know if you guys know, I don't have any of those. So we're just gonna have fun with it and get to work. Let's go. Alright, so check it out. While our background is hardening, you know, we still gotta go in there and shape that, all of that. We're gonna give that some time to settle. I've been thinking about the build in general, and our boy Gaara, he has this cool thing he does where he makes a hand out of sand. I think it's the hand of the actual tailed beast. Nonetheless, he uses a hand made out of sand to pummel his adversaries. I think that's really cool, so we want to kind of bring that into the enclosure. And I think I got it. Check it out. Here we have a hand made out of sand, and it's not perfect, right? Shape this a little bit better. We got a couple parts I need to sand down. I have 3 of them. I think I'll only use 2, but I think it came out okay. So I'm gonna get to work on this. We're gonna let the background harden. Let's have some fun. Alright, you guys, and we just gave this entire enclosure a low tape or fade, looking nice and tight on the edges. Now I'm just playing. We brought everything down though, so everything's uniform, and I think we're ready to start covering this in sand. So let's go. Alright, you guys, we got our background in, everything looks good. It's all sand. So, well, it was the spray foam covered in sand. All of this sand is mixed with aquarium safe glue, and it held up exactly the way I intended. This spot we see a couple pieces fell out. That was all the sand that I packed in on the top. But then we see even the lower levels is just sand. So I figure that's probably gonna happen throughout the rest of this enclosure. I'll probably run my finger through all this, knock some of this down so we get to the base coat, and then use the rest for the substrate. We're gonna get our items that we'll be including inside the enclosure, because this is still a reptile enclosure. And these are some of the items we're gonna be using to bring this to life. We've got a bag of moss. I've got a structure. This is gonna be one of the buildings inside the Sand Village. We can't take up too much space because this is still a reptile enclosure. There are no plants in the Sand Village. And if you guys find any, please let me know. I went looking, I cannot find plants, but for the sake of the reptiles, we're gonna add a little bit of color. I'll probably bury this halfway so it accents the enclosure, kind of acts as like a dead tree coming out of the sand. And then we have our character. And here we have the guardian of the sand village, our boy Gara. He's gonna be holding it down. Remember, we have those two sand hands. We're gonna use them as kind of like a platform, kind of raising him up off of the sand. It should look pretty cool with the position of his hands. I think it should work out. It's gonna be fun though. So let's just get our hands in place and then we'll start building his platform, filling out this enclosure. Let's go. All right, I placed the sand hands inside like the center. You see the center of the enclosure. And I felt that was like the best way to not take up all the space inside this enclosure. So, and then I'll probably fill it with sand and then put Gara right in the center. I think that'll be pretty cool. And then we'll get to building out the rest of this enclosure. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Now let's get it. And after a little bit of work, this is what we came up with. Let's go. See, we got our main character here, center. This is gonna act as a hide. We got another hide here in the back. The entrance to this hide is covered, but you know they'll end up going through there. I've got another entrance to this hide in the back corner over there. See, we've got our sand village in the back. We got another hide here. It's just one of those skull hides. I filled this with sphagnum moss in case our little gecko decides, you know, he needs help shedding or needs extra moisture, any of that. That'll be this area. Also, we're putting an under tank heater in the back corner. We're using one of these Zoomed under tank heats. hooked to a thermostat, and that'll be the warm hide on that side. And then this will be the cool hide on this side. But yeah, everything came together quite nice. We locked in the sand in the background. All in all, this was fun. I know when I get this 3D printer, these projects are gonna go up. We're gonna do a whole bunch of these. I had fun. And that is the build, you guys and girls. I ain't forget about y'all. That is the build. I had a lot of fun. I've never worked with sand before. I've never even kept the sand dwelling species. This is gonna be different for me. That's wild. We did this entire build and never once mentioned what was going inside the enclosure. That's crazy.